Michelle Backus wasted no time asking the question that we are all thinking, especially as the Trump campaign hones in on the Hispanic vote. Michelle, you back with us again. You were at President Trump's rally, as we just mentioned, in Hialeah, whose population, by the way, is 96% Hispanic.
Yeah, 96% Hispanic. And Miranda, I will tell you, I spoke to a lot of people yesterday waiting in line. I would say roughly 1 in every 5 were local Hialeah residents. In fact, I even saw Trump flags in front of some of those houses surrounding the stadium. And you know, I had to ask the golden question, is Donald Trump a racist? We'll take a look at what people had to say and decide that for yourself.
No, he's not racist. No, he's not. When people say that he's racist, they just hate him, but he's not racist.
It's not racist.
How do you feel about President Trump's border policies?
Oh, very good. Very good. Very strong. We need him back.
Black Democrats, it's just a sad thing for me to see black people going along with a party that cares nothing about them. Communities are ran down, full of poverty, full of homelessness. It's time to do something different.
Do you know what I love so much about Real America's Voice? We can ask the questions that all of us are thinking, but most of us are afraid to or just aren't allowed to ask. I guess that's why they call it the silent majority.
Yeah, but that silent majority is getting a voice thanks to networks like ours. We are giving them a voice and a platform, and I'm seeing people raise their voice more and more, Tara, aren't you?
Yeah, and I am. And Michelle, what also, like the questions that you asked, the feedback that you were getting, what was on the minds of the people at the rally yesterday?
Immigration. Immigration was a big one. Protect our borders. Stop allowing all of these illegal immigrants in, bringing drugs, ruining our homes. You know, this isn't just a problem for our countries our states at the border. This is a problem for the entire country, especially looking at those sanctuary cities and what's happening in those bigger cities like New York. Actually, Tara, I saw a couple people down there at the rally from New York. They said it's a mess with the crime, with everything going on right there. They want real Republican leadership. You know, this isn't something that's just happening in small pockets. I think it's something that's starting to really transpire all across the country right now.
Yeah, no, that is something. When I've been at the Trump rallies too, the number 1 and number 2 issues that Americans seem to care about are the economy, you know, gas prices, high inflation, and the border, securing the border. And even if you're in the Midwest, people are securing the border is a number 1, number 2 issue for the American people.
You know what else is interesting? When I was speaking with local Hialeah residents, I was speaking with one woman. She was in that video. It was a little bit later on in our conversation. I asked her where she was from. She said, Cuba. I said, oh, okay. So basically, you escaped a place and now you're worried that that could happen here if the Democrats get control and they want to turn it into another Cuba. She goes, yes, that is why we need to vote Republican. I do not want to see America turn into another Cuba.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason, going to your point, why a lot of these Hispanics, I think a lot of people just want to go, you're Hispanic, and they just want to group everyone together. Yep. And that's not the case. And I think Democrats have taken that for granted for so long. We've seen countries in Central and South America, Venezuela, one of the richest countries in the world at one time, but fell due to socialism, and people escaped for that very reason and are continuing to come over here to the United States. And guess what? They don't want to see that socialism come in this country. That's the reason why they left. And people like from Cuba, as you just mentioned, they don't want that. And I think Democrats don't get it. And they have strong Christian values, right, Tara? I mean, I just don't think Democrats, they don't see it.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right, Miranda, when you talk about that coming to America. I've talked to so many people that came from communist countries that are here in America, and they're seeing the direction of the Biden White House going towards communism, socialism, and they're saying, I've lived in that. I see exactly where the direction that this country is going under this administration, and they are sending out the warning signals. And that's why they're supporting President Trump. But talking about the Hispanic vote, Miami-Dade County, that's a big county for Florida. Michelle, can you talk about that and what you are anticipating for 2024 in Miami-Dade?
Yeah, Tara, you know what? Yesterday was a good indicator of what I'm anticipating just by the amount of people that were at the Trump rally. The amount of Hispanic people that were at the Trump rally all said the same things. We're not alone. This is what we want. We want a country that allows free speech. We want our rights protected. We do not want this to turn into another Venezuela or a Cuba. We don't want socialism here. You know, it's interesting because I think that Democrats really lean on identity politics and want to take these minority votes and encompass them all together. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are waking up.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And going back to Tara's point, I agree. I think the two number one issues are going to be the economy and the border. I mean, CNN just did a poll the other day saying that 55% of Americans support a border wall. This is one of the number one reasons why Trump got elected to begin with in 2016. But I've noticed a difference, and I want to get your take on this, both of you, that he is definitely, there's been a shift in some of these rallies where before we would talk a lot about what he's done. What I've noticed in the past several months is now he's talking about what he's going to do to fix it, to move the country forward. Your thoughts on that? 30 seconds to you, Michelle.
Well, isn't it funny that when we were talking about the border wall, you know, back in 2020, Trump was a racist for even talking about this border wall. And, you know, you can see there so many people are saying, no, build the wall, protect our borders, do not allow illegal immigrants in, do not allow these drug smugglers in and sex traffickers, protect our country.